Lesson number 42, the Rebbe's own words. He saw when they were in distress, when he heard their song. Through song, judgments are ameliorated, as is stated in the Holy Zoyam. The Keshes rainbow symbolizes the Shekhinah, and the three colors of the rainbow represent the three patriarchs, who are the garments of the Shekhinah. Now, when the Shekhinah is dressed in radiant garments, then God says, I will see her and remember the eternal covenant. And then the king's rage subsided. This is like a king who became angry with his son. But when the king sees the queen dressed in bright garments, he has compassion on his son. Now, the letters of prayer are the Shekhinah, as in Aleph Daled Nun Yud, Hashem, O God. Open my mouth, for speech corresponds to the divine name of Hashem. Aleph Daled Nun Yud. They are also called the Keshes, as Rashi explains, with my sword and my Keshes. This refers to prayer. Finally, the voice of song corresponds to the three colors of the Keshes rainbow, for voice is comprised of fire, water, and air, which correspond to the three patriarchs, who correspond to the three radiant colors, through which I will see her and remember. Hence, one who sings the letters of prayer, and the sound of the singing is very clear and bright. He thereby clothes the Shekhinah / the letters in radiant garments, and the Holy One sees her, and then the king's rage subsided. This is why Rashi comments, when he hears the song in Schus merit of the patriarchs, that is when the song, the three colors of the Keshes, are very bright and zoch, clear. For the three colors correspond to the patriarchs, who are the garments of the Shekhinah. And when the garments are radiant with great zachis, clarity and brightness, this is called schus of the patriarchs, then I will see her and remember the eternal covenant. Then again he relented in his great kindness. This is the king's rage. This is the king's rage subsided. This is the king's rage subsided. And the judgments are ameliorated similarly through faith in the sages, having faith that all their words and deeds are not superficial, but contain deep secrets. In this way one clothes the Keshes with radiant garments. Then I will see her and remember the eternal covenant. For the tzaddik, nanach, nachman, meuman represents the Keshes. As Rebbe Shimon Bar Yochai said to Rebbe Shimon Levi, has the Keshes been seen in your days? As the holy Isaiah states regarding one whose deeds are intended to cause the Shekhinah to shine, removing from her the dark garments of superficial meaning of the Torah, and dressing her in garments of radiant colors of Torah secrets. The verse says, I will see her and remember the eternal covenant, for light is called a secret at that point. His anger at his son disappears, as in the king's rage subsided, making nice garments for the tzaddik. Nanach, nachma, meuman also causes an amelioration of judgments. This also corresponds to the shofar blowing, to kiyishvarim truam, which correspond to the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, embodied in the letters This is the meaning of Shakai will be with you in your distress. The divine name of Shakai corresponds to the patriarchs, the Shin. Numerically 300 represents the 3 branches of the tree, which are the 3 patriarchs, who correspond to the 3 divine names of unity. Yud Kei Vav Kei Elokeinu, Yud Kei Vav Vav Kei, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem, which consist of Yud Dalid, 14 letters, which are the Yud Dalid of Shakai. Now the acronym of the patriarchs' names, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, is also the acronym of Hashem Elokeinu Hashem. Yud Kei Vav Kei Elokeinu Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, without speech, without words, without their voices being heard. This alludes to Keshes and voice. This alludes to Keshes and voice, the 3 colors of the Keshes. Nanach, nachma, nachma, meuman. Lesson number 43. Nanach, nachma, nachman, meuman. I know the speech of a wicked person who possesses das, experiential knowledge, engenders sexual lust in those who hear him. This is because conjugal union is a function of das, as in udam yuda, literally knew, but idiomatically had conjugal relations with Eve, his wife, and in any woman, Yadas, who had conjugal relations with a man. However, there are 2 types of conjugal relations: holy union, binding to tzaddikim, nachman, to the torah and to God, which is drawn from holy das, and sinful union, which is drawn from the das of the klipe. Now, speech is a manifestation of das, for the only way to know what is in das is through speech, as in one night conveys das to the next. The Hebrew word for convey meaning speech, for speech tells what is in das. So when a wicked person speaks while exhaling air from his mouth, he produces poisonous airs of sexual lust. And anyone hearing this speech from him and inhaling will breathe these airs into his body. Bilam was thus in the category of the das of the klipe. As our sages said on the verse, no other prophet ever arose again among Israel, comparable to Moses. Among Israel, no one ever arose. But among the Gentiles, one did arise, which was Bilam. Moses epitomized Avas, for which reason his generation was called a generation of Das. And for which reason women Moav to counsel from Midian, the Midianites told them Moses' power is only in the mouth, for the mouth is in the manifestation of the Moav replied, we too will attack them with a person whose power is in the mouth. For Bilam was the das of the klipe, as in God created each thing and its opposite. This is the meaning of the verse. Who knows the das of the Most High, upon which our sages comment. Bilam knew when God gets angry. For when das is not settled, there is anger, as our sages said. Anyone who gets angry loses his wisdom. Therefore, when Moses got angry at the soldiers returning from the battle against Midian, he lost his davos, and Elazar had to teach the laws of ritual, immersing the vessels. But when das is perfect, there is no anger, as in they will not harm or hurt damage throughout my holy mount. For the earth will be filled with deo. Bilam, however, was able to look into the dasa of the klipe, which is the waste matter of the supernal das. And when there was a chev, and she knew that God was angry, hence Bilam epitomized the das of the klipe, and with his speech he engendered poisonous airs of sexual lust. For this reason, when the soldiers returned, from the battle against Midian. The verse says Moses became enraged at the army officers and said, "Why have you spared all the women? These very women were involved. Why have you spared all the women? And these very women were involved with the Israelites upon the Vavar Bilam, the Vavar, upon Dvar Bilam, the Vavar, for with his devarim speech, which manifested Bilam's das, he engendered sexual lust in the Midianites. Therefore, when they returned from the battle against Midian, the verse says the leading officers approached Moses and said, "We want to offer a sacrifice to God to atone for our souls before God." Upon which our sages comment, they never meant to say, though we were spared from sin, we were not spared from love of lustful thoughts. On lesson number 44, the Rebbe's own words. The reason why we clap our hands during prayer is because our sages said, why does the Torah begin with the story of creation? To counter the nation's accusation that we are martyrs, having conquered and occupied the land of the 7 nations. For this reason he told all his people the power of his deeds, telling them that all the worlds are his handiwork, and he gives to whomever he wants to. Thus the verse concludes to give them the inheritance of the nations, for it is all in his hands. Nanach, nachma, nachman, meuman.